Shortly after January of 2013, we found out that Mindy was pregnant, and we had always wanted to expand our family, so I didn't think that that was too big of a deal. Their news was, you're going to have twins.
Their news was shocking.
And they saw something wrong with baby A, and that was Maryssa. They hurried up and grabbed Maryssa and was ready to take her from us to go to Cleveland Clinic Children's because she was labeled medically fragile. So this was our first roundabout with what medical fragile meant, what it looked like.
And through all of our ups and downs, and her first heart surgery was done well, and it gave us an extra 18 months with her, and to finally have this little girl who was full of smiles.
Set. Go. Love you.
And through all of her pain and suffering, that she came out and was the happiest baby that I'd ever met.
Papa. Say hello. Papa. Say bye, Papa. Papa. We went almost 6 months from the time she was born to the time she was discharged, and we knew that a big open heart surgery was around the corner. Careful with the baby. That's your baby? Yeah. You gonna lay the baby down to go night-night? Thank you. And Dr. Hirsch shuffles back into the room and says to us, have you ever heard of Maryssa's PDA becoming obstructed? And I almost turned ghost white. I said, yes, I've heard of that. We were told if that happens, it could be fatal. And we avoid that at all costs. And he looked Mindy and I in the eyes, and he said, her PDA is 100% obstructed. Okay, go sit down. Sit on your butt. Thank you. He said you could look at this in two ways. Either a ticking time bomb or a blessing. And we told him that we choose the latter. Very good, baby girl. And how you gonna do her front? There you go.
You're doing great.
Good job. So we fast forward 3 weeks, and Maryssa stops breathing at home. We would write down everything that we prayed for, that we needed, notes regarding her care plan. And little did we know that this would be something, a tool that would be so much bigger. Doctors Anna and Nelson Soto, which were an integral part of our family care, of the patient family experience, who took care of us, who loved on us, who brought us food, love, lodging, moved, bought a house to accommodate us so that we would have somewhere to stay and not have to incur the hotel cost. This was the blueprints for Maryssa's mission. Surgeons decided they had to do something. Doing nothing would give us only 30 days with Maryssa. And we had to make that tough decision to say, let's do another heart surgery. 2 days later, Maryssa's new heart could not be sustained by her lungs and body. And we were quickly called into a conference room, a cold conference room, to go over the results of her brain scan, at which time they told Mindy and I that our daughter was brain dead, that without life support, she would not live. No, we called in everybody, and basically we knew the severity that unless God performed a huge miracle, we would be saying goodbye to our daughter on November 13th, 2015 at 6:10 p.m. On November 13th, Maryssa crossed into heaven.
Mitchell and I have gone through the most horrendous pain, and we were very blessed to have the supporters around us and our friends and family around us. They really just rallied behind us and whatever we needed.
And we knew that we had to take that momentum, that love, and use these supporters now to help us support others.
We knew before Adam was born that he had some medical issues. It ended up being that he had what's called a CCAM, congenital cystic airway malformation.
You know, Jacoby spent her first 16 months of life in the hospital, 10 months being in the NICU at the Cleveland Clinic, and 6 months at an inpatient rehab center, because ultimately Jacoby could never extubate, breathe on her own, so we did have to choose to put a trach in her, and she came home with a ventilator and a G-tube.
Ryan's journey started at our 20-week anatomy scan when we were diagnosed with transposition of the great arteries, so DTGA. When she was born at Cleveland Clinic, we went from being super scared that our 3-day-old baby was going to have open heart surgery to extremely excited that we were going to be going home on a wait-and-see plan.
When he was 4 years old, we found out that he had cancer. Diagnosed with Willem's tumor, underwent chemotherapy and radiation.
Then when we started thinking about things, we became very scared again, because wait and see, like what does that mean for us? We wait and see if something happens.
You know, for us, anytime Jacoby gets admitted, it wreaks havoc on our whole family because of the separation of Jacoby having to be in the hospital, but we have our children at home. You know, Kevin's still trying to work.
I can't afford to move my family to where my son needs to receive the best care. And the uncertainty, you know, I still have a house. I still have to make the mortgage. I have a job. I have to keep my job so I keep my benefits so I can pay for the medical care.
You know, we were so close to losing Jacoby, but to walk that journey with Mitch and Mindy, you know, it just was very hard. But, you know, we've been with each other in our darkest moments.
We've been able to help families that are in this predicament, and it just blesses us to know that it's one less thing that mom and dad have to worry about.
But it has been so incredibly important to us that we have this power couple that we can turn to when we need to, and that, sorry.
Even if it's just, hey, I need someone to talk to, it's 2 a.m.
I can text Mindy whatever time it is and say, hey, you know, Ryan's going through this right now.
My first recollection of Maryssa's mission was a conversation with my wife about somebody wants to love us and feed us and house us, and okay, what is this all about?
Maryssa's mission has provided us not only with our blessing bag that we were able to actually take with us, and it came in when we needed it, when we did a second opinion in Boston.
They paid for us to stay in a hotel for a month so Adam could be listed for this transplant.
They not only remember the child that's going through the medical illness in the hospital, but they do take care of the whole family. It's not just that child, but they care about the whole family in general.
Maryssa's mission is more than just blessing bags. It's more than just providing a gas card. It's more than just providing a visa to say, hey, here, use this how you need it. It's way beyond that.
Mitch and Mindy are Maryssa's mission, and they go out and they do the work. They get their hands involved in whatever they can to provide for the families that are struggling.
Just see the spectrum of what they do and what they offer and make your own educated decision. Because if you can meet with Mitch and Mindy, you'll be moved as others have, and that's how the foundation has grown so fast already.
What I would say to potential supporters, that Maryssa's mission is local. With these big time places, you donate money, but you might not necessarily see where your money is going. With Maryssa's mission, you see it.
From everything that I've seen, Marissa's mission is there for, everyone, and not having the red tape. I have enough issues to deal with the hospital and the insurance and my job, but knowing that support is there is what means the world to us.
I think Marissa's in heaven looking down at them, knowing that their mission is just, it's exploding with the amount of people that and families that they're helping.
What Maryssa's mission is doing is meaningful, it's purposeful, and it's a tangible thing that you can see where your donation is going.